Welcome back. There's been a wonderful journey from yesterday to today, and really on this theme, the sanctuary within, healing through pure love in silence. So I think we're just getting organized. Okay. Are we doing all right?
Yes, we're doing all right.
Okay, I may continue. Mark, may I continue?
Yes, certainly.
Thank you. Thank you. So yesterday we started off very, very powerfully, and the two energies that we really took up in this journey of healing, and with the theme that the confluence age is the age of healing, yet we often resist the opportunity to heal. What do you need to overcome your resistance and heal the deepest, most ancient part of the soul? So yesterday in the welcome, we had our Didi Nirmala, Dr. Nirmala, who first brought us and welcomed us to Madhuban. And then we met Brij Mohan Bhai. And then Mohini Didi also provided us with very powerful ingredients. I'm sure by now you've been building on them. And this morning we had Asha Didi, and Asha Didi added to those ingredients. So I'm sure that we are journeying together and deepening the silence moment that we are all on together. Yeah. Just a reminder that the Zoom is still open. So if you are registered on Zoom, then please do use the Zoom link, because it allows for the interactive process. And during the retreat, there will be that interactive time, and often the sharing of drishti and many other opportunities to meet the seniors. So if you do have registered on Zoom, I would encourage you to stay on the Zoom so that we have that interactive moment time together. Okay? So, all right. I've taken note of that, and I'm sure somebody would work on that, Sister Charu. So this morning, we're going to deepen our journey together, and we have Sister Jayanti. I feel very fortunate to introduce Sister Jayanti, because Sister Jayanti was the first Brahma Kumari I ever met. When Sister Jayanti first came to South Africa, and I met her for the very first time, it was in the meeting with her that I felt inspired. And I knew that if I want to lead a spiritual life, this would be where I would like to start. So it's a wonderful opportunity that was the beginning of my spiritual birth. So warm welcome to you, Sister Jayanti. Sister Jayanti has an amazing level of strength and yet incredible humility. Once somebody said it very, very powerfully, and I love the choice of words they shared, that she wears God on her face. And I'm sure many of us had the experience of just the royalty and the dignity and the deep, deep spirituality of the soul to bring us close to Baba. Once Baba described her very beautifully, and Baba said, this child of mine is a spiritual leader. Yeah. So today, as we're going into this journey of healing the soul, Sister Jayanti is going to take us through the whole aspect of forgiveness, because forgiveness is an energy that often not addressed creates a lot of resistance and delays the process of healing itself. And so I now warmly welcome Sister Jayanti And Sister Jayanti is going to add the next ingredient in our journey so that we can deepen the silence moment together. Sister Jayanti, a warm welcome to you. The soul is a powerful soul, so it's trying to fit onto that screen. It's quite a unique experience. But here we go. I'm sure soon Sister Jayanti will be with us as we journey through the journey of forgiveness.
Om Shanti. It's wonderful that even though we are not able to travel to Madhuban physically, Madhuban allows us to communicate and come together as the foreign family, the family from abroad. And we have very special events happening every month. And this time, again, a very special silence bhatti, a chance to come into that inner sanctuary of the self and experience the love, the joy, the peace that lies within. And of course, inviting Baba into our hearts also. Baba would sometimes say that your home is Madhuban, but also where do you live even though you're abroad? And Baba would say you live in Baba's heart. And where does Baba live? Baba lives in the hearts of the children. And I remember Daddy Janki saying at one point, when we would worship the deities, we would make sure everything was so clean, absolutely as it should be, sparkling clean. And then we would carry out our worship. And so if you're so concerned in creating the right space, the right ambience for the deities, what about Baba? Surely Baba, the purifier, the highest on high, the almighty authority, needs a very, very beautiful, clean space. And so if I'm inviting Baba to come and stay in my heart, have I created that space which is so pure and clean that truly Baba can come and live there? And so the month of January offers us the opportunity of going deep within and doing a lot of cleaning. And so now, can I look inside and see to what extent I've been able to clean everything within myself? Maybe when I started my journey in Raj Yoga, there were 4 people who I had had problems with and I haven't been able to forgive. And this is actually a real story. A person said to Daddy when they began their journey, Daddy, there's a lot of things that have happened in my life. And I think at that point he was already in his 50s. But there are 4 people I haven't been able to forgive. But that's okay, isn't it? I've forgiven a lot of people and it's okay. But now it's just 4. And Daddy looked at that person and said, if I were to offer you a glass of water and say, I'm just going to put in 4 drops of poison, not a lot, just a little bit, 4 drops of poison, would you drink that water? And he understood Daddy's message and he said, okay, I understand. And then a year later, when that person met Daddy again, then the next thing was, I've managed to deal with 2, but there are still 2 I haven't been able to forgive. And Daddy said, well, if you've done with 2, you can also do the same with the other 2. And he said, but, they caused me such grief, such grief. But Daddy said, okay, if there's a little bit of poison that's there, surely then that's not just being directed in one line or two lines, but that poison is coming out in everything that you're doing. It's going to be insidious, it's going to be infiltrated everything. And so where relationships could be sweet and harmonious, because that little drop of poison is inside, it's impacting what's going on out here also. And so he understood, and a time came when he came to Daddy and said, done. What should I be paying attention to now? It's a real serious effort maker. And so let me look inside my own heart. Is there a little bit of poison still remaining? And if I'm holding something that I consider I am right, and that person was so wrong, if I'm holding that still in my heart, it's not poison against them, it's poison against me, because it's in my heart. I've given it space. And so forgiveness is actually finding freedom for myself. Nelson Mandela, when he was leaving prison, after having been incarcerated there for decades on Robben Island, there was a space between the first gate and the next gate. He came out of that first gate, and in that short space of time of walking to that second gate, he had a question for himself. If I carry lack of forgiveness and hatred in my heart and I go out there, I won't have left the prison. I'll be still in the prison of my own hatred. And so in that short walk, he decided he would drop everything and there would be forgiveness. And of course, it changed the course of history. And so if I want Baba to come and live in my heart, first I have to make my heart free and find that space of Baba's love and generosity so that I can let go and truly become free. Are there some steps in this whole journey towards forgiveness? Yes, I need to make time for myself. I need to be able to take responsibility for myself also. Because sometimes when we're getting into challenging situations with others, we tend to blame. But if today I'm seeing that there are challenging situations, though, what is it there within myself that's holding things back rather than pointing the finger and the blame out there? And then when I explore and I examine, what I would probably find is that, yes, it's because of lack of forgiveness, and it's impacting all my other relationships also. So I don't have anything to forgive this one for because there's nothing that I can remember or recall, but there's something there inside of me that's creating this disturbance. But who is it that I really truly need to forgive? And so first step, introversion, introspection. Let me be able to look at myself very clearly. Second step, can I take more and more of Baba's love? Remove whatever are the blocks in that, and whatever is the distraction, that is the block. Here I am sitting thinking of Baba, beginning to connect with Baba and starting to feel Baba's love. My mind gets distracted. Maybe it's even service, because service is not yoga. It's a separate subject completely. And so if my mind is being distracted, break. That's the cut in my yoga. And so can I create that state of yoga in which nothing ever distracts me? human beings, situations, service, whatever it may be. And so when I deeply look inside and I see, how do I fill myself with Baba's love? I'll be able to just practice focusing, practice concentration, and I'll be able to fill myself with Baba's love. And Baba's love will allow my heart to stretch and open and be generous. And then let me go through my life and see, and maybe I start recently, because that interaction will be the ones with Brahmins, and then go further and further back. But let me start with the closest, because I remember that more anyway. And so, can I connect with that person on a physical level and say to them, I forgive you? Or if I need to seek forgiveness, can I say to them, I'm sorry, can you forgive me? And maybe they slam the door shut in my face. That's okay. I've done what I needed to do. And at some point that'll register. But especially if it's a person that I haven't forgiven, can I connect and say, I forgive you? Or let the past be the past. I've dealt with it. There's nothing more that I need to say about it. It's settled. You'll know the words to say depending on the quality of your relationship and the closeness of your relationship with them. Maybe I'm not yet ready to do this. Maybe they've passed on, they're not around anymore, and so maybe I can't do that anyway. If they are still around, let me prepare myself and prepare them before I make physical contact. And so let me bring them in front of Baba, and just for a moment, no more than that, just send Baba's light to them. And then I continue with my yoga. I'm not going to hold them in my mind for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, nothing like that at all. You just bring them in front of Baba. So between me and them is Baba, and it's Baba's light that's reaching them. And then connect with them physically. Many ways to connect nowadays, so whatever way you can reach them. And then when you do speak to them, I'm sure that they will be ready and very happy to accept that. But if not, that also, let it be. You've done what you needed to do, no more. If they've passed on, you're not able to connect with them or contact them. Again, the same technique. Bring them in front of Baba and let Baba's light reach them. And now just for a moment longer, just have that connection with them directly in Baba's presence, and let the soul speak to the soul and say what it needs to. It might take a long time to reach that stage where my heart is genuinely open and full and I'm able to do this, but it doesn't matter how long. If it's going to take me a week to prepare myself, if it's going to take me a month to prepare myself, don't make it much longer than that, because time is truly, truly racing at this moment. So let me just go through the list, going backwards probably. And maybe it's something very, very big that's still waiting. And maybe there comes a point where I'm really not able to do anything, and it's not possible to really connect with them in any way, because maybe they've hurt you so often, or they've gone against you so often that you don't want to try it again. At that moment, And there was an individual with whom I had come to that point. I had tried supporting them, tried explaining to them, tried to make them shift in their thinking, but they kept making the same mistake. And it was all within the BK family. She was a BK, others were BKs that were involved. And something within that soul, and the mistake kept happening again and again. And finally, I had to say to the soul, now, I'm not going to be in touch with you anymore. I've tried explaining, I've tried doing whatever it is, but now I'm just going to detach and do what I need to do to caution others, but I'm going to leave it in God's hands. You're not accountable to me anyway, but yes, I was trying to support you, but with the hope that you would change. But now I'm putting it into Baba's hands. I am not involved in your account at all. Whatever it is you have done, whatever it is you need to sort out, it's between you and Baba. And of course, if there's been a situation with people who don't know Baba, that's okay. You can't say that to them, but you can say to them, if they are around, I'm going to put it in God's hands. And if they're not around, again, the same procedure, to really step away and say, now it's in God's hands. But it's not just in words or even just in a thought. It has to be with a deep, true, sincere sense of letting go. We hold on to so much that we don't need to. And in fact, I'm talking about a very extreme situation, but maybe in situations that are also not so extreme. It's a very useful avenue that Baba has given us. Don't carry it for yourself. Hand it over to God. And so God is giving me many, many treasures, but if my head is filled with other stuff, there's no place for God's treasures. Just as if my heart isn't clean, it's not the right place to invite God, and He's not going to be able to sit there comfortably. In the same way, if my intellect is caught up with so much with human beings, there's no space for God's jewels. God's jewels are so precious, and this is the only time in the Kalpa that we're able to have them. And so can I now create that space so that I'm not having to carry other burdens. Whatever there is, can I hand over to God? And Baba will fill me with jewels. And this intellect is then going to be containing many, many treasures. And if there's treasures in here, what's going to come out of here? It's going to be jewels. And if there's stones in here, all the burdens and the memories of the past and the lack of forgiveness of people, then all that is a burden that's occupying space, but it's also giving me a headache. So if I want to be free from the pain and the suffering that lack of forgiveness gives, let me be able to settle that. And then once I become free, it's very beautiful, because once I'm free, I can take everything that Baba's offering me and I can share it with others also. So in terms of being an instrument for service, I think I need to do that. In terms of my own peace of mind and a healthy feeling, mind and body, I need to let go and remove all the burdens from the past. What about where I've done things and I need forgiveness? Let me also do the same. Let me take Baba's love, and Baba's love will give me the courage to look deeply within myself and see what it is I need to do. And then I'll be able to find what it is that is blocking. And sitting with Baba, again, very sincerely, with an honest heart, I tell Baba what it is that I've done, And Baba doesn't speak to me inside my head, but Baba gives me the feeling. Baba will give me the feeling of being able to be free. And also, of course, within all of that comes the factor of transformation. If a child repeatedly tells his mother, I'm sorry, but goes out and does the same thing again and again, there comes a point where the mother will say, do you really understand what it means to be sorry? Have you understood? But also, are you willing to change? Are you willing to let go of whatever it is that was causing the mistake? And so, taking Baba's love is the way to be able to fill myself with courage, but also taking power from Baba. That gives me strength and courage also. So take love, but also take power from Baba. And with both of these, say to Baba, Baba, I really regret whatever. I'm sorry, but I want to change. And with that total commitment and determination for change, I'll see things begin to shift and I'll find that transformation happening within myself. Until that realization, how can I say to Baba, I'm sorry and I want to change? But deeply, I need to realize what it is that has been the cause. Realization doesn't happen so quickly. A simple example, I realize I'm a soul. But to what extent am I actually practicing that? And yes, when I read the Murli, when I talk about Gyan and it comes up, then I can feel that yes, I am a soul. But am I able to maintain that realization through the day? So you can see how many years it's taken. And that's not to disempower the new ones, because new ones come with extra help from Baba and they come with that extra energy and power to be able to do something and move forward. So Baba gives help. But some of us who've been around a long time, we know that it does take a long time to deeply realize something. And so if I want to make myself completely clean and free, again, I need to explore what more change do I need to have and what are the things that are still stuck. And so that deep cleaning happens through tapasya. And so I hope that through the month of January, but also beyond, we're able to both forgive others or surrender that to Baba so that Baba is responsible and their account of whatever it is their mistake may have been, whatever it is they've done, Baba becomes responsible, but I become free. But also, if I need to seek forgiveness, let me do that. Take love and courage and faith and it'll work out and things will begin to change. That transformation that I'm looking for will begin to happen also. And so then Baba will say, yes, child, I will come and stay in your heart. I've created a space in my heart for you, but I also come and stay in your heart. And that feeling that Baba's in my heart brings total freedom. What else is it that I need? No desires, no attachments, no other thoughts. When I have a moment, I've finished what I need to do, and I can feel Baba's company and companionship, and I can feel Baba's presence with me. And I think that the next period of time is going to be a time in which we have to reveal Baba through our features. We heard this Murli in the 80s, that's right. I think it was an 87 Murli that we heard recently, in which Baba says, the future should be visible through your features. And of course, if Baba's in my heart, my face will reflect the love, the light, the joy, and the features will also reflect the smile, the joy, and the vision of love and equality for everyone. And so if I want to be that image that is able to grant a vision of Baba and the future happy new world, then this period of time, I think, is a time to prepare for that, so that then who knows at what time the curtain will open and the others will be able to have those visions. Baba says, how with the actors, if the actors aren't all ready, if the deities are not all ready, the curtains will not part to reveal them. And so first the preparation inside, and then the curtains will part and people will be able to see who it is that has created you. And the result of that new creation is going to be that future world. And so experience that total liberation. I think when you've seen how if people who've forgiven are able to manage their lives, you see that they're free. They're able to achieve a lot more than they were before. Dadi Janki, I've seen it in her. I've seen that, because she has forgiven, she has managed her life so
Sorry, not sure what's happened there. Just be a little patient.
and he persuaded his son to take him far away to that person. And it was quite a challenge connecting with that person because the person refused to see this person. He persisted. He waited patiently for hours, and finally the person did meet him. And the person was scared that, what's going to come out of this meeting. And this man just said, "Tell me why you did it." And it was difficult extracting that lesson from him. And the man said, "But I'm not going to take you to the police. I'm not going to put you in trouble. But was it because of the loan I had given you? Well, I also want to tell you, I'm ready to forget that loan. It's not a loan,
Ti
it's
ho fatto un prestito, ma io sono
have to
disposto
acknowledge that
a
this is what you did."
perdonarti, a
The man
non
acknowledged.
contarlo
And
più.
the man said,
Voglio sapere perché lei
"Thank you, that's all I needed to hear." And he left. His son was with him on the journey back. And the son said to him, "But why did you just let him free?" And the man said, "So that I could be free." And on a very practical level, he said, "Can you imagine the amount of time and energy it would have taken to go to the police, to go to the courts? I didn't want to go through all of that, but mostly I just wanted to have my heart become free. Now it's free." And so find the freedom that comes from forgiveness, create a space where Baba can come and sit and fill you with all his treasures. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Jayanti Ben. I think that was so powerful, so real, so workable, and talked directly to the heart. So thank you so much for that. And I think it's such a beautiful vibration to know that when I really work on this level of forgiveness, then Baba says that I will come and stay. in your heart. I think it's such a beautiful invitation for someone to go into that journey of feeling that when I really take the courage and go into the energy of forgiveness at a very deep level, then I can welcome Baba. So the next part of our journey now is that reflective time, because this is a silence retreat, and we're going to go into the depth of just unpacking all that has happened so far. So we're going to go now through a reflection. And so for today, our reflective time and energy is on what will I do today to bring my heart to a new level of freedom and kindness. What will I do today to bring my heart to a new level of freedom and kindness? So journey with this question, reflect on it. This afternoon, meet Baba, deepen the journey, and then we will meet this evening again at 5 o'clock. That is European time, 5 o'clock. Okay? Thank you so much. What will I do today to bring about that newness? All right? Brother Mark, you want to make any announcement before we close the session?
Just to let the those joining them, the Vela tomorrow morning, we'll have something sorted for you, and link will be put in the folder and also distributed this evening in the chat. That's it.
So this evening it will be great if you can join in on Zoom, because in our Bhatti we're going to have a wonderful opportunity to even share lovely drishti together and connect together in many specific ways. So this evening, once again, we will meet at 5 o'clock European time, Central European time. Acha. Enjoy the rest of your day in silence and have a beautiful meeting with Bab Dada this afternoon. Om Shanti. Thank you.